I had my job. I was working at a doctor. I was pretty happy with what I have. And as I said, there was something else on the entrepreneurial side of me that wanted to do more. Buying single family home after single family home, year after year, putting all my money and savings into that. And the only way that I could find was doing more units in the same amount of time with the same amount of money. And that was called multifamily.
Actually, a friend of mine, we traveled together and we did business together. And he, looks like my older brother because he looks just like me. But he's starting with the single family homes and built an empire with over 5,000 units. A physician, an anesthesiologist in Maryland. His name is Dr. Tudor Francu. Let's go! Dr. Tudor Francu. Did I say it all right?
Oh, you say it so well.
Hey, man. Bro, I'm so glad you're here, dude. Thank you so much for getting our invitation, dude. When I was putting this together, I was like, I gotta have Tudor here, dude, because you speak so well.
Thank you so much, Neander. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And I can only congratulate you for starting this enterprise. The whole production, the idea, the results, and the whole spirit is so good.
Thank you, man. It's been quite of an experience. As you know me, I've been doing this my entire life, but for other people producing and, on the production field. But now it's the first time I'm doing something for myself. And it feels really good. It's difficult because I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with that camera? What's going on with that cable? What's going on with that? So, and focus and also being a host and feature awesome people like yourself.
Thank you. Thank you again.
But dude, no further ado, I want to know, the guests want to know a little bit about your beginnings, where you're from, and what got you here, my man.
Yeah, so just to, in a couple of words, I'm an immigrant. I came in the United States when I was 28 from a communist country, communist Romania. And
Romania.
I came here with basically nothing, just a luggage, a couple of $100, and very little English. I start living the dream, so to speak. But it was a lot of work. So I can relate to all the people that had the same kind of journey with me, especially that late in life. And I can only congratulate everybody that they got to this point. I finished medical school in Romania.
And so you did medical school in Romania?
Yes, and then I left right after that.
Which is totally different language, right?
It's a Latin-based language.
Right.
Has very little, English nomenclature in medicine. Most of it is based on a French language. So I had to completely rewire my brain and learn everything in English. I passed those exams. I came here, and for my surprise, nobody looked at me. So I had to start from zero. Try to find a job. I did all kinds of things in the beginning. And finally, I got my correct visa to be able to work. And I got a position, a residency position, and then from that point on, the whole professional career started.
And for studying for the test, I bet, because that's what I asked about the language, that could be really, really hard. What did you do? You just reading the books?
I don't know if you want to know what I did. So it was a tough situation because we didn't have the correct textbooks to study from. It's a closed country. It was very hard to get your hands on something like this. And the American equivalent exams are very tough.
Yeah.
So what I did is I Xerox copy a lot of textbooks that I could have my hands on in English, study them, take notes in my broken English language, and I basically study them the way of translating them and in the same time studying them. try to memorize them.
So you Xerox page by page and just
Yes.
that is incredible, dude. I mean, that's come on. I'm from Brazil. We do that stuff too. Okay?
Yes.
So that is not new to me. But I'm just impressed by the determination, dude, that actually do all this work, and that's amazing.
And I'm sure you can relate to this. The drive that gets you to this point is it has to be consistent and tremendous.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of effort, and
Just the English itself, it's hard, right? It's challenging, and not. But now learning medicine through another language that's double hard.
Yes.
That's really cool,
Absolutely.
dude. That's awesome. Congratulations. So, and then when you finally came to the United States, I would assume that you had hair. More hair than you have
I
now?
had some left, yes.
Have some left? I wish you could see a picture with that, man. When I also came to the United States, we have a bunch of hair. It's funny because pass over the years, and my staff was like, do you ever have hair before? And I showed a picture the other day, and I was like, oh my God, it's like looks so different.
Yeah, I bet we're
Right?
unrecognizable.
Right? That's funny. So, and then what happened to her?
So I finished my residency in New York. We came down in the DC area, and it was a good family, environment to raise our kids. And we settled there. I got a job, like a W-2 job at one of the hospitals. And at some point, I thought it has to be something more than this. I come from a closed political system in Romania where you can't have any kind of entrepreneur ideas. But I started off with the little things that, at that time, I remember when I was 10 years old, the first thing I did was I sold flowers from my uncle. He had a little flower garden. I took flowers and I sold them in the market, to make some money.
Dude, that's the entrepreneur, the young hustler right there. That's the perfect example.
And then when I was in high school, I remember I sold some newspapers on the side of the subway stations for people that could, just little things like that. And when I came here doing medicine and being a doctor, it was all nice and good. I kind of achieved my professional dream. But it had to be something more than that, and I was looking for something else at that point.
And it's funny when some people think of, especially on the doctor field, right, medicine. They look at you as a doctor, you just think that you came from a silver spoon, right, and but and I know a little bit more in depth of your story, and you did all kinds of stuff, and odd jobs that and to get where you are today.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, dude. That you went through this process of doing anything. So a lot of people just think that it's easy. You just study a little bit, but like what you have to accomplish to be where you are today, that's incredible, dude.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And the thing is, if you have the drive and the determination to do something, anything, like being a doctor, being an engineer, whatever you want to do, you have to do everything.
Yeah.
Up to that point.
Especially when you come to this country, like we're determined, like I will do whatever it takes to go to where I am. Anything.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes. And that's a determination right there. But before I know that I want to get to the real estate side of it, man. How did you get started? But before that, guess what time it is, bro?
Coffee!
It's coffee time!
What's going on?
Hey,
Tudor?
how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Nice
Good
to
to see you. It's always a pleasure having somebody here that we know for a little bit. And
doesn't he look like my brother, man?
Yes.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I was gonna tell him to put the mustache on, so we both the mustache, right?
Now you convinced me to put some mustache.
I was gonna say, like, you kind of look like his brother for a little bit in there before, but now something is missing. So which one is gonna give? Are you gonna shave or are you gonna grow a mustache? Somebody.
I've got to shave because that is not happening to my mustache. That is me complaining. She picked me up in the airport the other day, and she's like, "What the heck is this, man?"
And y'all at home or whatever you're watching this from, you don't want to see what I can see here. Those legs are like, that's for real. Like
You guys saw the preview of the
Yeah,
legs, man.
no,
You
no.
got it
I
going
gotta
on.
I gotta stay right here or Tudor because
I know. Thank God I can't
yeah.
see it.
I'll block you.
Okay.
I'll help you a little bit from. But
So, a little interesting fact of Tudor. He is actually an expert. You're a sommelier, right? Of
Yes,
That's amazing.
In wines. Yeah, I'm very grateful I got to do this. Kind of a side gig. I would say I got my certification from this globally renowned, like it's called Wine and Spirits Education Trust.
Wow.
It's
That's
amazing.
based in London, and there are a few hundred people, diplomats of that organization in the world. So
wow, that is
That's
incredible.
amazing.
it was
dude.
fun. It was
And
a
you
lot
know
of fun.
the best thing is to go out with somebody like Tudor that you could just say, hey man, can you pick the wine?
Can you order?
And you can be sure that's gonna be the best one you ever had. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So it's good.
Absolutely,
it's fun.
absolutely. So, have you ventured in the coffee world a little bit as far as
No,
like
but
no?
I love coffee and I
Right
love
on.
wine.
Right
So
on,
I
right
can't
on.
wait for you to tell
Yeah,
me.
and there's only one reason why he's having this coffee. Only one reason.
Why?
He knows the secret handshake, and that unlocks the vault to have our own coffee, the Funk Monday.
Should we show this?
The package is too special. This was made. It costs us a lot of money, man.
Costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
This coffee for the label that we made, we spend like a lot of money.
A lot of money, man. A lot of money. A lot of thought was put into
A lot
it.
of marketing. It's because it's
Sleepless
from
nights.
my own farm in Brazil, our farm, and it's a
Wow.
small farm. So this is the
Must
package
be
right here.
good. Wow.
It's a nice package,
That's a
man.
great commercial marketing right
Yeah.
there.
And you know why it's like this? Don't judge the book.
Don't judge a book by
It's
its
on a
cover, man.
Ziploc bag right here on top of my desk. If you're listening to this podcast, and the reason it's like this because my dad picks up from the trees and they prepare it and roast it. So we sell wholesale. We don't package in anything.
Wow.
But my dad selects the best of the best and give us to us and bring it here as like a trafficking on the
Yes. So it's all
mugging
handpicked
cup.
and it's
yes.
all like
So the way that we do
manual
our
work.
gifts, definitely yes. You go to the trees and you only pick the right ones. You don't use machine or anything. You pick it up the right ones, let it dry in a suspended drying rack. It's not on the floor like it used to be, and has this. So it does the right process.
Absolutely.
And the most important thing is the love that's putting behind it.
Absolutely. I can only imagine.
The ingredient right
It
there.
means
You
a
can,
lot.
yeah.
And this is the first time that we tried this one on our show, and I was like, Tudor gotta have this
Absolutely.
one.
Oh,
Man. So-
wow. I feel
Feel-
so honored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me get you. This is your coffee right here. There you go. All right, Neander. Help yourself.
All right.
All right, here's mine. And as a sommelier, you know the whole secret about drinking like you got to slurp like you're drinking a hot drink and all that
Yes.
stuff. So here's what I want to hear from you. I want you to drink it and just give us your like it's like a key grader right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just like you just
pour
like
it
wine.
for
Let's
us.
go.
I think what strikes me the first time I smell this, it's a lot of, I would say, a lot of like berry flavors and a
Yes.
little, I would say some blackberries and like
It's very
blueberries.
fruit forward, yes.
Yeah, very fruity type of smell, and also on the taste, it's like light and fruity.
Yes. And there's a little bit of the dark chocolate in there as well.
Yeah, I would say I was about to say it's like mocha type of.
That's awesome,
Taste.
man. That's
Dude,
awesome.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
like,
me
you know,
too.
because
Me
you
too.
actually, because of sommelier, you know how to appreciate it and you know the right thing. And you telling me all those things, I got goosebumps.
I'm honored, man.
That's
We're
awesome.
honored. We're honored.
Is this like how is it roasted? It looks like a medium
It's
to
light
light
roast, yeah.
Yeah.
So dark roast, people think, oh, I'm getting a dark roast because I need the caffeine is actually reversed, right?
Right.
More you roast, the worse it is.
Yeah.
And I think we even talked about this one some point. I think we
Yes.
talked about coffee,
I
right?
know.
And it's actually they roast dark to camouflage a lot of the imperfection of the coffee, a lot of the taste, you know. So
Yeah.
that's why people pull out a lot of sugar. But this is actually a sweet. It's a sweet
Yes,
type of
it's
drink,
sweeter
right?
than normal,
Yeah.
and you don't have to have any kind
There's
of sugar.
no
or anything.
sugar there whatsoever.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
I love it.
But hey, I'll let y'all get to it. You know, I want to hear more about his stories, and but most of all, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this.
And,
It's wonderful. I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, y'all. And I'll catch
So on a 0 to 10, what's your score?
you. Ooh.
9.5.
Let's
And,
go.
You know what the difference between 0.5 is?
What?
Because I didn't get more.
Let me fix that. I want to get a 20. You
Okay,
know?
we gotta.
All right. Thank y'all
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Thank you,
Ito.
Appreciate
I
you.
appreciate it.
All right.
This awesome coffee, dude, and it means a lot to me that that's what I picked. We have other people on the show, but I wanted to do our own feature on coffee, and I was like, I'm saving this one to my friend.
Thank
Tudor.
you. I
Let's go,
appreciate
man.
that.
And man, we are in this show to help people to see a different angle. And I know you and I are mostly today on multifamily side, but I want to get deeper on how did you get started on your portfolio when you started on a single family, and start with what was the turning point in your? Because you had a career, right, and you can just excel, whatever. But how would you get that? Oh, I'm gonna start investing in real estate.
Yes, it's an interesting and funny story because I never thought we're gonna get to this point. It all started when I moved in Maryland, and I had my job. I was working at a doctor. I was pretty happy with what I have, and as I said, there was something else on the entrepreneurial side of me that wanted to do more. And I remember it was like in the beginning of year 2000, and I bumped into this ad of this guy called Robert Kiyosaki,
Yes.
and he was having a cash flow game that he was trying to promote. And as a result of his marketing plan, he wrote a book, which was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, probably everybody knows about it, but it was
It's
funny at
one
that
of-
time, 23 years ago.
Dude, but it's funny to see one real estate person that is a real estate investor that does not know this book.
Yes, it was transformational. It was transformational. And, I have to say, I don't have any stories like I had a rich dad or a poor dad or
Right.
anybody like that. I just, I had a really good mom and
What
a
I
really
said
good
was
dad.
I just had a poor family. That's
Right.
that's what I usually
I
say.
mean,
which a lot of love, a lot of I don't have a complaint, but
Exactly.
yeah.
my parents were very loving, and they gave me all they could. And I came here, so I discovered this book, and he was having a little like personal seminar that he was doing out in
Maryland?
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
And I went there. It was just him and his wife, Kim,
Kim.
with a couple of people on the stage. It was really like personal and small. I got to meet him personally, and at that point, I was like, "Wow, this is something else that I need to follow." I read the book. I bought the game. I started playing the game, and it's based on Monopoly game,
yeah.
right? And funny story with Monopoly. I was probably in my middle school, towards the high school, and I loved that game when I was a kid, but I didn't have it. We couldn't buy it anywhere
Yeah.
in Romania at that time. So what I did is I built it up myself. So I did I
Wow.
bought a board. I
Which is
draw
actually, think about it,
everything
it's
up.
not that hard to replicate, right?
No,
You just
no, and
write it down the
you-
names and
Yeah, you cut a little piece of paper, green and red, and you have four houses.
your
and a
money.
grid. Yeah, it was easy, but it was so fun because I
Yeah.
loved the game.
yeah.
So now the cash flow game was like based on the same principle, and it was named "How to Get Out of the Rat Race." And I thought about this. Oh my God, this is really true. I'm in a rat race actually. How do I get out of it?
So you talking about the rat race by your work, by your job.
Exactly. It was a 9 to 5, so to speak, job, taking care of patients, and I have a lot of fun doing it. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
But at that time, I started investing in real estate because of that book. Buying single family home after single family home, year after year, putting all my money and savings into that. Small 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms houses
Wow,
that
and
were
in Virginia.
building in Maryland mostly. I got to a
And
point that, there over the years, there are a bunch of them at some point
how
in my
many? Like
portfolio. Got up to I believe 30.
holy shit! And were you self-managing?
That was the issue because
You were self-managing
we were
30 houses.
self-managing with
Wow.
property management, kind of an in-house.
And you still had a full-time job.
Correct.
Holy shoot.
And you can only imagine how that thing went down. It's tough. It's
Yeah,
tough,
definitely.
and it's
No,
not
but
fun at some point.
Right,
It
but
becomes a second job.
yeah, absolutely.
So after a while, I thought there has to be something else
Yeah.
from here.
Because from the 30 houses, to hire a full-time management company eats a lot of your profit too,
Yes.
right? So it's one of those things. You still gain equity, all that stuff, but it's just like cash flow wise, and it just cuts down a bunch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And plus the work like that you have to do it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And it's hard with
Yeah.
with a single family home, a tenant moves out, you have to repaint,
Yeah.
remodel, fix things,
Jesus.
have zero occupancy.
Okay,
for a while.
Real quick, can you tell one short story that was a horrible story that you happened? Somebody called you, had to go, or something. Just one. Share one.
We have different kinds of stories, but I think it got worse at some point that we had some attacks in the house, in one of the houses, and police involved and all this stuff. So it was hard to get out of it, but you have to deal what you have to deal with.
Absolutely, they're
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
It's like having a child, right? It's just
Exactly.
It's just like it's yours.
Yeah. And it's been a while, after a while you realize that you need to scale up.
Yeah.
And that was my only point here, is that you build this portfolio, and I was thinking, well, how do I scale up from here? And the only way that I could find was doing more units in the same amount of time with the same amount of money, and kind of delegate to a team little things that I was doing on single family portfolio. And that was called multifamily, where you basically leverage a team that you partner with, and everybody's doing its own, thing. You hire a professional property management company to take care of not 2 units, but 200 units,
Right.
with less money and better reliability. And the profits are better at that point, because your occupancy is not based on somebody moving out of a single family home. Sure. It's somebody moving out of 1 unit out of 200.
Absolutely. It's the percentages. This
Exactly.
The scale.
So you have a 99% occupancy instead of 0
Yes.
on a single family
Absolutely.
home, which is a big advantage. So, and that was my thought at that point. If I can scale up to that level, I could multiply my profits, and I could get back my time. Because ultimately that's all we have in this life. We have the time.
What was your first multifamily acquisition? Was your first apartment? Did you invest passively, or you already went as a GP?
So after I knew a few people in the group and tried to partner with some, I invested passively in a couple of deals, just to kind of know the ropes and how the whole system works. You get to know the partners, you get to know the sponsorship teams, and it's very useful to be a passive investor first.
Yes.
And some people just do that, just passive
Which
investors.
still require a little bit of not just a little bit of work for the GPs, right? But a little bit of also the liability that the GPs have by
Correct.
securing the loan, finding the deal.
Correct.
And some people are like getting some point of stage and just like, hey, I just want to invest passively. I just want to get the returns, which the returns are solid.
Yes.
In multifamily. And that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
And
so-
now 5,000 units, huh? Do you still have some of your single family or
No, sold them all.
liquidated?
Yes.
All
Done.
right, man. Hit that button for me, man. Let's go, dude.
Yes.
And so I know that your stellar multifamily. How did that came up?
It came up more of a willingness to educate people in this field, because I realized that a lot of my colleagues, doctors and professionals in general, that are very hardworking people, and they need something to rely on for their income, for their passive income,
Right.
for their retirement, for their time with their families. So at that point, you need to start educating people and say, listen, I've come to this point by myself. I want to share my experience. I want to share my knowledge of how to do this and give an option for someone to follow this path.
Yeah. But avenue for a vehicle for them to, invest in a
Exactly.
know,
So I just created this platform of, hopefully, people will follow me and learn from me. And I'm sure every one of us has experiences and
Sure.
things to teach. And I think, from this point on, that's what I want to do. I want to teach people how to follow this path.
That's awesome, man. Your information, Tudor's information is going to be down below. You can find him on social media platforms, and you can go and follow him because he's such a dude. That's awesome, man. And it's
Thank you.
great to see. But I want to ask you one thing. If you could talk to your younger self, the guy that was just starting, beginnings, man, are full of dreams, and what would you have to say? And start by saying, hey, Tudor.
I think the first thing I would say to myself, my younger self, would be don't wait to get a mentor. Don't try to do things by yourself. There's so much you can do with only one person. You need to leverage the knowledge of someone who did it before you, who has the knowledge, who has had the experience, had the failures, and learn from them. So I think getting a mentor as soon as you can in life, no matter what you want to do, like your professional life, your side business, whatever it is that you want to do, I think get a mentor, follow the path that was built already, and learn from it.
Sweet, man. Success leave clues.
Yes,
Right. So having a mentor is almost having a shortcut, right?
Correct.
Because they're going to show you a path. It's just like I put this as a perspective of if you go to a city that you don't know, out of the country you don't know, and if you get there, it's a lot better if you have somebody that, hey, go to this spot, take that street, go there, versus you try to find all yourself, right?
That's right.
Or it's the restaurant, then you have to put a lot of research, a lot of hours, versus somebody give you a map.
Yeah.
And be like, do this, and
it
that.
saves you time.
Saves
that's
you a
all
lot of
we.
time.
That's all we need to do, to save time in this life. So, what is the perfect solution to save time? Get a mentor, do bigger things, and scale up. Get fast in your life, and ultimately save time.
Absolutely. But Tudor, the audience wants to know a little bit more about you, man. So this is the part of the show that it's spilling the beans with Tudor Francu. Wine or beer?
Duh. Wine.
All right. I thought otherwise, but let's go. You never know, man. You know what I'm saying? Cabernet or Pinot Noir?
Oh, this is a tough one. I like both, but I think I'll go with the Pinot Noir.
All right. So Honey or syrup?
Oh my God, honey. I'm a beekeeper on the side.
I know. That's what I put this in here. All right. What would you rather, be stung by a bee or a wasp?
Oh God.
I'm sure you probably
none?
had both. None? Since you're a beekeeper, have you got stung by your bees?
Yes, so I think I would choose the bee at that point.
Okay. All right. Ballroom or salsa dancing?
Ooh, tough choice. I would say ballroom,
Traitor.
including
Traitor.
salsa dancing.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, rock and roll or jazz?
Jazz.
Dothan, Alabama or Brisbane?
Brings back memories.
Brings back some memories.
You know what? I would choose Dothan, Alabama, because we had so much fun there.
I agree 100%, dude. I hear 100 houses or 65 apartments.
Hands down, 65 apartments.
Let's go. Shampoo or hairbrush?
Oh, wow. Do I need any?
Dude, that completes the spilling the beans with Tudor Francu. Woo! Dude, this has been incredible, man. Brother, I love you, man, as a friend, and I'm sure that we're gonna do a lot more business together.
Absolutely.
And as just a quick side note about Dothan, Alabama, that we try to get this deal, and sometimes the deal is not meant to be, man. Sometimes you gotta exit from the deals, and we're glad we did. But we just bonded so much,
Yes.
and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I congratulate you for your success, man, and I hope
Thank
that
you.
I've seen you putting some videos out and stuff, and we can add value to you, help you out, and to
Absolutely.
this.
Thank you so much. And I congratulate you. You've done something amazing, and your way of promoting your ideas is something completely out of the box, which I love.
I appreciate it, man. This was an interview with Tudor Francu. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of the show. And until the next episode, let's go.